Hi everybody, it's Kathy here and I am playing along today with Shannon's Throwback Rewind, back to the beginning. It's a celebration hop for her 2,000 subscriber. Amazing, congratulations Shannon. So we had to go back to our very first video, which I will have linked above here and also down in my box, about this layout. And we had to recreate it and pay homage to it. So I had did that one back in 2022, as you just saw. Why I thought that would be a good one to start my YouTubing videos off with, I have no idea, other than it was a challenge and it gave me some guidance, I suppose. So I'm going to try and keep pretty true to it. The only thing I miss out on it is the stenciling this time around, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. So we had to use some hexagons, we had to use some vellum, we had to use 7 clusters, we had to use the mood board, and we had to use a punch. So they're the things that I incorporated. We were supposed to use a stencil, but I forgot about that part, but that's okay. My layout is busy enough this time. It doesn't need that stenciling in there to continue. So I kept true even as much as I could to the structure of the layout that I originally did, in the fact that I do have the 3/4 one panel and 1/4 the other panel. But this time I'm changing up my hexagons a little and a bit more modernizing it for this layout. However, I did keep the same subject matter. Why, you ask? Why did I do the bin chicken? Well, firstly, that was the subject of the layout, so I thought that was good. And when you watch the first layout, if you watched the first layout, you will know that the bin chickens took up residence in my school during COVID when the children were absent, and so they started to nest there, and now we have a little flock of bin chickens who live in the school. And as I said at the time, they were going to become the new inclusion to education, and they have. They're the inclusive birds in our school, along with the raven, as you can see there. But the raven thinks it's better than the bin chickens. So anyway, bin chickens are white ibises. They're found here in Australia, and when I was growing up, they were only found in the botanical gardens and at the zoo. Now you can find them anywhere, and there are even children's books written about the bin chicken. Yes, I know, it's crazy. But anyway, so I am doing this layout, as you can see. I cut out the hexagons. I did use my dies to do that this time. Last time I did it with punches. Last one I did a hexagon photo as well, which I cut out by hand. But this time I decided to keep my photos whole, except for the little ones, which I did use the dies to cut those into shape. So I am calling this one a class of its own. So that in a class of its own, and that's so true, because bin chickens are a class of their own. They are scavengers. They get into the bins. That's why they're called bin chickens. They go hunting and they clean up all the rubbish. And I suppose school grounds are a great place for them with the children and their leftovers. So I was out walking the school grounds, and this bin chicken happened to be walking where I was walking, so I took some photos. And I'm sure if people looked at my photo camera, they'd be wondering why. Why do I have these strange photos in my camera reel? But anyway, I took them because I knew I was joining this hop, and I knew I was going to recreate that layout. So I have put an arrow in here to point out the bin chicken. I have done some flowers which I had on the original layout as well, and I'm going to build my clusters using those. I have a vellum hexagon done at the top and in the middle there that you can see, so I've got my vellum in there. But I'm also going to use the vellum to punch out leaves with a leaf punch, so I'm meeting that criteria. As I said, the only criteria I missed was the stencil, and that's probably because I just didn't reread the list properly. I could have probably put stenciling on this layout if I wanted to, but it's very busy as it is, and I just like it as it is. So, yep, congratulations, Shannon. We're all hopping along with you. You are an amazing creator and an inspiration. So thrilled to be part of your hop to celebrate 2,000 subscribers. That is just phenomenal. She is just amazing, everybody. Her details will be down below in the description box. You need to go and check her out. It is amazing. And if you aren't already subscribed to her, please do so. You will not be disappointed. Oh, and while we're talking about it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button here. I appreciate every single one of you that come watch me, and I'm only a little fish in the big sea. So I'm just building up my clusters, and I'm building up my flowers. I'm having that point there, that cluster there in the middle there as a cluster of 3, and I'm going to do this other one as a cluster of 3. The rest are just going to be single flowers on the hexagons around the layout. Now, in a previous layout recently, I had a whole lot of these little hexagons cut out because I did a honeycomb, if you remember, on my yellow colour of the month. And so I've got enough here now that I can add them to this layout because they're hexagons as well, and they will become part of the clusters around the point. So as I said, I'm using a paper punch here to punch the leaves for my clusters because I like to bulk them up with foliage, and the vellum is getting added accordingly, and therefore adding some bulk and height to the rest of the layout. And I'm actually liking how it all comes together. It is a different approach. It is a different layout. There will be people who are liking it, and there will be people who aren't liking it, and that's okay because we all have different aesthetics as to what we like. But for this layout, for this hop, it was to recreate our first video. Now, my first video was 24 minutes long. Oh my gosh, how bad is that? 24 minutes, taking so much of your precious time to watch a video of me dribbling on about things. I don't think so. It's bad enough when I hit the 15 mark now. I think, oh, that's way too long to be listening to me. So I try to keep them down a little bit shorter than that, and I have for this one today. So I hope that I'm giving you enough detail for you to create a layout. Find something here that may inspire you to have a go. If not, it's just some entertainment and listening to the story of the bin chicken. And if you've not ever seen a bin chicken, you might want to do a little bit of Googling and have a look and see what they like and learn a little bit there as well. So I'm just adding in those hexagons now, and instead of Nuvo drops or instead of enamel drops, I'm going to use the hexagons in the gold, and that's going to make a little added feature to the layout. The other thing that I had to add to this layout was the silver. So I had silver in my cardstock and paper there that you can see, but I'm also putting silver Nuvos into the center of all my flowers. So like I said, I hit every box on the list except the stenciling, and that I can't believe I missed that bit, but yes I can. I didn't even reread the list properly until I just saw it then as we were working through this process now. So there are lots of people hopping along with Shannon today. Please go and check them all out. They will be in the playlist down below. I can't wait to go and watch what everybody else has produced. I can't wait to go and watch everybody's first videos. I'm sure they're all going to link them with their video from today. I have mine linked here again, and I will also have it in my description box down the bottom. So if you're interested, go and check out how far I've come from when I started my very first video back in 2022, and we are now in 2025. I didn't actually get serious until last year about videoing, so I hope that I've done something here that earns a thumbs up from you. I am quite pleased with how this turned out. Very, very similar to the original with the colour scheme. The mood board helps for that. I have incorporated the hexagons a little bit differently this time, and I do have the 7 clusters on there with the silver, and I have the same subject matter, which is quite funny really. And no, it's not the same bird, I'm positive of that, but it is a bin chicken. So there's the original, and look at how detailed that was for back then. And here's my take now. now. So thank you once again, everybody, for watching and persevering through this gribble about a bin chicken. Australians will be laughing, I can tell you that now. So thank you, everybody, once again. Don't forget to go and celebrate with Shannon. She is fabulous. I have your pleasure and company today, so thank you very much. Happy scrapping, everybody, and I'll see you over in the next one.